Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Daily Entrepreneur. We got a great episode for you guys. I'm here with Josh, James, and I'm Jack with the School of Hard Knocks, and let's get into it. So, JetBlue is looking to acquire Spirit Airlines in a $3.8 billion acquisition. This comes after Frontier Airlines failed to be able to make their acquisition of Spirit happen. And so, basically, a lot of things are going around in the airline industry with antitrust laws and trying to see, is this move going to make it unfair for other airlines? Well, with JetBlue acquiring Spirit, it's going to become the 5th largest airline in the world. So what are your guys' thoughts on this and how this could potentially shake up a major industry?
Yeah, well, I mean, credit on JetBlue for, I guess, acquiring Spirit. I know that
Spirit needs to go.
Well, there's always been controversy behind, there's
Holding on to the plane like this.
They need to go.
That's what I'm saying. There's always been controversy behind them, but it's like, maybe they need to be acquired and then kind of go. But I guess the one thing in Spirit's favor that a lot of people do like is just it's extremely cheap travel. And it's like, that the accommodations on the flight aren't going to be ideal. You may or may not have your luggage when you touch down, when you get to that new city.
It's like driving a 98 Corvette.
Might be a little rickety step. So pretty much that's what's going to happen is Spirit Airlines, like all their planes are going to turn into JetBlue planes. All the equipment, all the employees are now going to be belonging to JetBlue. And yeah, I mean, I think this is a major move on JetBlue. Just adding some more
planes to the arsenal.
Planes, more people, just making their brand a lot bigger. And so it would be interesting to see if JetBlue carries on the Spirit tradition of being a cheap fucking airline.
Hopefully. I'm gonna be honest. For all my brothers out there that are down bad, shout out Spirit.
Yeah.
It'll get you that $60 trip to Miami.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like companies like Southwest, American, United, like they look at this move, like, what are you thinking here? Are you thinking just like, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Well, am I the only one? I just feel like I've never really been on JetBlue.
I've been on JetBlue before.
I feel like I'm usually on like United or like Frontier
Southwest.
or Alaska or something like that. Like never.
I went on JetBlue and something happened with my luggage. Like there was stuff missing in it, and they sent me like a care package.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, would you say you feel happy with that, or was it just kind of like some bullshit?
Feel okay? I was 10.
Yeah. If you were 10.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was the Webkins.
Yeah.
No way they sent you some Webkins.
They sent me a damn stuffed animal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So that brings us into kind of our next topic, but you guys know who Justin Kan is, right? He was the founder of Twitch, Justin Kan. He kind of took a break a while after selling Twitch. He got really heavy into content recently. He's been crushing it on TikTok. Well, he's coming back into entrepreneurship and is launching a new startup in the world of Web3 that they've already raised over $14 million for. And essentially, he's building out like a new Shopify type platform for all e-commerce users and developers, which essentially he's implementing his own cryptocurrency on the platform for people to use, which is going to enable them to add new revenue streams onto various like products and services that people sell. So what are your guys' kind of thoughts on this new interface and API that he's rolling out?
So first of all, I mean, shout out Justin. He was one of the first people to show love on Hard Knocks with the Stitch. But I think it's really interesting. I mean, I feel like he's tapping into an industry where there's nothing but money to be made, e-commerce, so much opportunity there. I'm really interested to see how he's going to implement crypto within e-commerce. But I guess I'll just have to learn more about it and see what's really going to come out of that.
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting seeing how they're going to take a coin and basically make it how you conduct transactions using the API. I don't know how that's going to go. It might be a little confusing for the average user, but knowing Justin Kan, he's a pretty good communicator, and I mean he founded Twitch, one of the biggest companies in the world. So I think for him, user ability and user experience is a big thing that he's going to keep in mind here, and I trust what he's going to do with this.
And just one last thing that I'll kind of add with it, but a really big selling point, I think, that for his company, Rise, that they're going to be able to, at a much lower cost, be able to kind of like operate. So essentially, for the users, so Shopify charges, 2.5% to almost 3% per online transaction to the users that are selling products. Etsy takes over 6.5%. and just other companies in general take a big cuts through like online transactions. It's through the cryptocurrency protocol that he's going to be using. They're going to be able to operate at a much cheaper rate for people that are going to be using their platform. So
is he trying to create a competitor to Shopify pretty much?
essentially, yeah, that's what it almost seems like.
That's tough. I'm gonna be honest, man.
But
I
there's
feel
a lot of
like,
people that
I
have
feel like
discrepancies with Shopify, though.
you're right, but I feel like Shopify, in terms of it's like trying to compete with Iconic in the art space.
I'd say it's even harder.
They are
they're-
dominating.
yeah.
Like if you want to create an online business, like you got a couple other options out there, but like you're not going to go to WordPress when you can go to Shopify, and people create independent businesses through Shopify itself through their own apps. Like all those, like there's multiple SaaS companies under Shopify pretty much, and so I feel like if his main goal is to compete with Shopify, I hate to say it, but I think he's going to lose.
Yeah.
India is suing Google $180 million, pretty much saying that they're creating an unfair advantage for themselves for having phone companies install their apps before the companies are actually sold. So when you buy an iPhone or an Android, it already has Google Maps and YouTube, pretty much saying that it's creating unfair advantage. What do you guys think about that?
Well, if they're buying a Google phone, I don't think that there's anything wrong with Google putting their software on there anyways. I think you should give the option for people to be able to delete the apps and then just...
But this is more for like Android and iPhone. So they're creating, so Google has created agreements with Android pretty much saying, hey, you're going to have Google Maps already installed, YouTube already installed, so when you pick up that new phone, it's already going to be on there. And it's pretty much saying that it's limiting competition. It's creating an unfair advantage for them versus the other competitors.
Interesting. But I don't know necessarily if that's because if India's suing Google, but if that's between Android and Google, like if you buy the phone, it's like this is going to be pre-installed already.
I don't think that there's really a problem with Google doing this. Honestly,
If they
I don't
come
really
to terms
see,
with Apple or Android.
I understand how it could be an unfair advantage, but I personally don't look at it as, when you buy a product, as a user, your job isn't now let me decide which maps person I want to buy, which this I want to buy. You already want that stuff installed. Like when I buy an iPhone, I want Apple Maps already in there, ready to go. If I don't like it, I'll go and I'll download Google. But if not, I just want it already in there. As a user, I don't want to have to do all that work myself.
Yeah.
So if I'm Android, to be honest with you, I don't know why India would be suing Google. They should be suing Android. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not Google's fault for making a smart business move to say like, hey, like, could we be the default apps on Android products, pretty much?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like it is one of those things where like everyone uses YouTube.
Yeah.
Everyone uses the Maps feature. So maybe it is a little ridiculous. Maybe there's some things that are falling between the white lines here that we don't really truly understand what's going on behind the scenes. But I also do understand in a certain sense that like it really could, if you're trying to become a new Maps developer, there's like no room in the marketplace. What do you you're going against
true.
Apple Maps, Google Maps, and then Waze?
It's true. I completely understand. Here's my thing though. If they really want to be the first people that get downloaded, why don't you pitch Android a deal? Why don't you pitch them? Here's why ours better for your customer. Then make a better app, make a better product. Pay the money. If it's unfair, it's unfair. But that's just how that's how it works. Think about Waze. I know so many people that use Waze over both of Apple Maps and Google Maps.
And why is that? It's because it's the product.
The product is better.
Yeah. The fact that you can report things, everything like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess you could say like the companies have started, like Apple Maps, I feel like has started to try to implement that a little bit. Where you can like report stuff now, like traffic on the road and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess ultimately at the end of the day, the best product will win.
100%. And the crazy thing about Waze is that like, if you get an iPhone, right, and you use like Apple CarPlay in the car to like navigate, if you download Waze, there is an API. There's a Apple CarPlay version of Waze. It's not just that like they're ridden out of the market. Thanks so much, guys, for watching The Daily Entrepreneur. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and make sure to subscribe for more episodes.